Let's talk about ways that you can save money, and we're going to talk about 10 ways in this video that you can save $10,000 very quickly. And no, I know you're probably thinking and saying, Ian, saving $10,000 is never quick and never easy, and there's no way you can actually save $10,000 easily, but that's not true. And just because it sounds easy doesn't mean it's impossible, right? In fact, I've always tried doing everything the easy way because it makes no sense that you go out here and you try to do everything the hard way. So with your savings, you're doing it the hard way. With your investing, you're doing it the hard way. With working, you're doing it the hard way. And instead, you should try to do everything the easier way and make your life a lot easier. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys 10 very simple, very easy, very straightforward ways that you can save $10,000 very quickly. And by the way, guys, if you've had success with saving money, whether it's like $10,000 or less or even more, and you had like a strategy that worked really well for you, I want you to comment down below. Let me know what that strategy was, because maybe there's something that you know that we don't know and you can share that. That can actually help everyone else save a lot more money as well. So comment that down below if you've had success with saving money. And also, if this is the first time you're coming across the channel and seeing me, my name is Ian, and on this channel I talk about ways to make money, ways to save money, ways to invest your money. I talk about bank accounts, credit cards, just about everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these videos, if you like topics like these, if you want to keep these free videos coming, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. It's 100% free, won't ever cost you anything. Also, be sure to subscribe with the notifications on, and that way you never miss any of the future updates of when I post new videos on this channel. Also, if you guys ever want to talk to me one-on-one, you can message me on Instagram. The link is down below in the description. But with that said, let's jump right into how you can save $10,000 very easily, and I'm going to be giving you guys 10 ways in how you can do this. Now, the first method of saving $10,000 really fast is actually by spending money. Now, I know this doesn't sound like it makes sense at first, but what you want to do here is you want to spend money to get rid of all your debt, because that's going to end up allowing you to have more money so you can save even more money much faster. So for example, simple things that are overlooked by the average person, like credit card debt, for example, right? Most credit cards come with an APR of like 24.49%, which is around 25% in interest. And that's what you're paying on the balance that you have on your credit card, which is compounded daily. So you definitely want to pay this off so you can save money on interest payments. And then you can use all that money, instead of using it to make your payments, you can actually use it to save towards your $10,000 goal. Now, you may not think that this is going to make a lot of difference, but think about this, right? If you owe $1,000 on your credit card, and most people owe a lot more than just $1,000, but for example, let's say you owe $1,000. For every $1,000 that you owe on this credit card, if your APR is around 24.49 or 24.99 or around 25%, that means you're paying roughly $250 per $1,000 in interest per year. So if you have a credit card, or across all your credit cards you have $10,000, this means that over a period of just 1 year, you'll be spending $2,500 in interest payments only. Now remember, this is compounded daily, and if you take years to pay this off, or if you just keep a balance on your card all the time and you're only making the minimum payments month after month, and you're doing this for years, then over a period of time, you're going to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, you're just throwing money at the credit card companies in interest payments. So this is why I think that the first way that you should approach saving $10,000 fast is actually by getting rid of credit card debt. If you have personal loans, get rid of those as well. Just try to get rid of any loans that you have, because that's just going to get rid of all these interest payments, and you'll actually be able to free up a lot more money than you think. And this way you can actually use all this money to saving towards your goal of $10,000 much faster. Now, the second way, or the second thing that you can actually do to save $10,000 very quickly, is to hold on to your car for a lot longer, right? So for example, if you bought a new car and you're getting towards the end of that car note or paying off your car, instead of trading it in for the newer model, keep your car for an extra 2 to 5 years, right? Now, the average car payment is $648 for new cars, and around $503 for used cars. And there are other factors that go into this, of course, but on average, most people will be paying around $500 for a brand new car, depending on what type of car they purchase. Now, let's say you have that car for 6 years or 7 years, and you hold on to it for an additional 5 years. That's $500 per month, which is $6,000 in savings per year. And if you just purchase a used car, which costs a whole lot less, and also if you purchase a car for cash, That way you can avoid the payments. You can just save all the extra money that you have. Now, for example, I drive a old Mitsubishi. I paid $6,000 in cash for this car. I've had it for 3 years, and based on the average car payment, if I just purchased a brand new car over this 3-year period, I would have spent around $18,000 so far in car payments, but I've only spent $6,000 up front. So the car pretty much paid for itself in the first year, and then the second year was just me driving a car that was free. And now I'm going into my 4th year, and I'm saving at least $500 a month. Now, even if you're saying, well, Eann, this sounds really good, but I bought a really cheap car and my car payment is only $300 per month. Well, guess what? If your car payment is only $300 per month, if you keep your car for an additional 5 years after paying for that car, this means that you're gonna save $3,600 per year, which is around $18,000 over that 5-year period. So you can still save a lot of money here by just holding on to your car for a bit longer. And most people usually sell their cars or trade them in before anything is wrong with the cars, right? Like it's in completely good condition. It gets them from point A to point B. There's nothing wrong with it. It may have just a few dings here and there, but for the most part, this car is still in very good working order. And you're just throwing your money away if you're trading out your car every single year, and you're also trying to save money at the same time. Now, the third way that you can get to saving $10,000 very quickly is by investing at least 10% off your income. So for example, if you invested 10% of your income every single month and you invested into a simple, boring ETF or index fund like me in the S&P 500, in around 30 years, for every $1 that you invested, you would get a return of around $25 because of compounding. So let's say you save $10,000, right? Let's say you make $50,000 per year and you invest $5,000 every single year, which is 10% off your income, and you do this for 30 years at a return of 10% on average. In the end, you would have invested $150,000 over that 30-year period from your pocket. However, the total earnings or gains would be over $900,000, meaning that the total you'd have is over $1 million. And that's kind of like for the long term. But the point is, by investing 10% of your income every single month, you can get to having $10,000 or a lot more. Now, this is just the minimum. If you can invest more than 10% of your income, then that's awesome. You should definitely go for it. Maybe you can invest like 20%, 30% of your income or even more, then you should go for it. But your goal should be to invest at least 10% of your income every single year. Now, the fourth way that you can actually save $10,000 really fast is by house hacking. Now, this works if you own your own home or maybe you rent an apartment, you can still do this. For example, right? If you were living in a house and it's like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, you're just one person. You can actually use the additional rooms and you could rent them. You don't even have to rent them both. You can just rent one additional room, one bathroom, and then share common areas. But that's an easy way to make like an extra $1,000 per month, because rent is just so expensive right now. And you could be saving an extra $1,000 per month just by renting out to someone else. Now, I will say that this does have some cons because you lose a lot of privacy. You don't probably know this person a lot, and maybe you don't want to do it, so you have to screen these people well. But if you can manage to pull this off, then it could help you to save a lot more money very quickly. Now, the next way that you can save $10,000 really fast is by simply holding onto your phone for an extra year or an extra 2 years. For example, until about 3 months ago, I was using an iPhone 10, which is around 3 generations in the past, because we're now at the iPhone 13, and I recently got the iPhone 13, and the only reason I upgraded was because I had a bunch of rewards points on my Chase credit card, and they were giving away an extra 10% if I used those rewards at the Apple store. So because my phone was 3 generations in the past, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get a good deal on this brand new iPhone 13 Pro, and that's the only reason that I did it. But I won't upgrade for another couple of years because a brand new iPhone costs around $1,200. So if you hold on to your phone for an additional 2 years, you're saving almost $2,500 by just keeping that old phone. Now, with that $2,500 in savings, you can then buy the iPhone that you want now, but you could buy it like in a year from now or 2 years from now, and then you're gonna get it for like 75% less. So for example, the iPhone 13 is selling for around $1,000 right now because the iPhone 14 is coming out soon. But next year, like late next year when the iPhone 15 comes out, the iPhone 13 is gonna be selling for maybe like $600. So you could save $2,500 and then spend $600 at the end of the year for the phone that you actually wanted, and you save a lot of money, and you do the same thing every 2 years. Now, the next way that you can save $10,000 really fast is by cutting out a lot of subscriptions that you have that you don't really need, or lowering your bills. So for example, a single line for phone service costs around 50 to 60 bucks. It doesn't really matter who you use. It's always usually about the same, like 50 or $60. Sometimes it could be $100 if you want an unlimited plan. But I found Mint Mobile and they gave me a phone plan for only $15 per month. Now that's not with unlimited data. If you want unlimited data, you're gonna have to pay like 30 bucks per month, but it's still a lot less when compared to all the other providers. So this is one way that you could save. And similarly, you could just reduce bills without changing the quality of your life. So for example, if you have internet service at home, maybe you have like Comcast, then maybe you could switch to a different provider like Verizon. I don't know who you have in your area, but they could give you the same speed, but maybe they're charging you like $20 less per month. Now, the same goes for your phone bill. Just find a service provider that charges you less per month and you get the same service. Also, stuff like cable TV. Most people have cable TV and they don't even watch cable TV. They never watch it. All they do is watch YouTube or TikTok or Instagram Reels. Maybe they'll watch like Netflix, but they never watch cable and they're still paying for it. So if you're not using it, just remove it completely. Also, you may have a bunch of subscriptions that you signed up for that you don't really remember about. For example, some people have multiple gym memberships and they don't even go to the gym. If that's the case, just remove those memberships. And if you're not using them, this can save you a ton of money because you're gonna be spending a lot less, right? Now, I know this may not sound like a lot. You may be spending like $5 here, $10 here, $20 here. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you add them all up, every single month you could be saving upwards of at least $100. In fact, there was a survey done recently, I think late last year, and it said that the average consumer spends around $273 per month on subscription services. So again, if you review all your subscriptions, all your bills, you're probably gonna find that subscriptions, or you have subscriptions to things that you don't need or that you're not even using, you don't even remember about them. And if you get rid of them, you can eliminate the cost, and this can free up a lot of extra money for you to save. And this was actually two things in one, right? So the first thing here is you can, for your internet or your mobile or your cable TV, just find cheaper providers or just cut the cable if you don't actually use it. You most likely don't. That's one thing that you can do. And then secondly, to save a lot of money per month, you can cut down on these subscriptions, or you can completely remove the ones that you're not using. Now, another good way to save a lot of money very quickly is by taking advantage of the free money that your employer gives, which is a 401k or whatever retirement plan they offer you, depending on where you work. So maybe you work for the government, or maybe you work for like a privately owned company, but usually there is some free money sitting on the table. If you're not taking it, then you're just losing out. For example, there's some employers that will give you 12% of your income for free, and all you have to do is to just participate in the retirement plan or retirement program. So for example, if you got a 401k and maybe you don't get that much, right? Let's say you're only getting 4%. I think 4% is like average. So for example, if you make $100,000 per year and your employer is willing to give you only 4% of your income in free money, if you participate in that 401k plan, that means that you put $4,000 in this 401k, which is 4% of your income every single year. And they're also gonna give you $4,000 for free every single year. And you're gonna get that $4,000. Now, your 401k is gonna go up by $8,000 every single year from the contributions. And of course, them giving you free money. And then we also know the benefits of investing based on what you invest in inside of your 401k. Now, that can compound and that can grow to be a lot of money. But for example, if you were working for a company, let's say for 30 years, and they gave you only 4%, but you were making like $100,000 per year, this is $4,000, right? If you calculate this, it's going to be an additional $120,000 in free money that you just left on the table because you weren't participating in the retirement plans or programs. So that's the next way that you can actually save a lot of money, and that is by participating in your 401k or whatever retirement plan they have. And you can also borrow money from this investment. Now, the next way that you can save a lot of money very quickly is by simply preparing your own meals. Now, this may not sound like a lot, but for example, if you eat out every single day, for example, if you get like breakfast, you grab like fast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then you have snacks in between, you're more than likely going to be spending like $10 per meal at the very minimum, and probably $30 per day, and then you have to include 1 or 2 snacks. So that's probably like an additional $5 depending on what you eat, because this could work out to be a whole lot more. So for example, let's say you're spending on average $30 per day, right? That's a little bit, but let's say you're only spending $30 per day. You go to work, and let's say you work 5 days per week. So you're working around 20 days per month. This means that you're spending around $600 on food for the month, and you could easily go to the supermarket and maybe spend $100, $200, $300 depending on what you want to eat or what you like eating, and then you could prep all your meals one day, and it's really not that hard, right? You could prep all your meals on like a Sunday, you could store them in your refrigerator, and then you could take them to work. You could simply microwave them, and that way you save a ton of money every single month. In fact, if you can save $400 here per month in just a year, you'd be saving $4,800. That's almost $5,000 by just simply preparing your own meals, and they're gonna be a lot healthier. They're gonna cost you a lot less, and you can prepare exactly what you want, so you'll always be eating what you want to eat. And this is another easy way to save a lot of money fast. Now, finally, one other really good way to save money is by not being cheap. And when I say not being cheap, it means that don't go out there and buy cheap garbage stuff, right? For example, let's say you're moving into a new apartment. You don't want to go out there and you don't want to buy the cheapest appliances, because guess what? They're not going to be energy efficient. They're going to be cheap up front. They're going to probably not come with the best warranty. They're probably not going to last you very long, right? They're going to last you, what, a year, 2 years tops? And then you're going to have to replace them or service them or pay someone to repair them, when if you had simply just spent more money up front purchasing good stuff, like good quality stuff that would last longer, then you would save a lot more money in the long run. And this can be the same for furniture, right? I mean, you can go out there and you can spend like $100, $150 on some cheap bed on Amazon that hurts your back, and you sleep on it, and after 3 months, you're sleeping in the bed, and then it just suddenly breaks in the middle of the night, and then guess what? Now you have to replace that cheap bed, and it ruined your back. Now you have to see the chiropractor, and you could have just simply spent a few $100s more and bought a much better quality, higher quality bed, which would last you years and also comes with a warranty. So the point is, spend more money upfront buying higher quality things, and this is actually going to save you a ton of money in the long run, because you won't have to repair or replace these items, and this just saves you a ton of money. Now, none of these methods by themselves are going to help you to save $10,000 very quickly, like in a month, but when you put them all together, you can actually save $10,000 very quickly, and at the end of 1 year, you could actually save a lot of money, like $10,000, and I think these are 10 things that everyone should be doing at the very minimum, and this is how you can save a lot of money very quickly. So once again, if you want to save $10,000 really fast, and you have any other methods of saving money that you used and they worked really well for you, comment them down below so we can see what those are, so we can learn from that as well. And with that said, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like the content. Also subscribe with the notifications on. Don't forget, if you guys ever want to talk to me one-on-one about this or just about anything else that I talk about here in the channel, you can message me on Instagram. All the best with saving money, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.